Today is December 1st, 2023. My name is Red Moonigle, and this is Daily Devotional. And I'm going to start with saying good morning, wishing you all well. I have a workshop today, so I'm posting a little bit earlier today, which means this is only halfway through my first cup of tea. And I'm going to start with daily devotion, the Celtic devotional. I'm just going to read an evening Friday out of the Samhain section as I wait for people to join. Those of you that are joining later, you're going to watch this whole thing unfold, right? Soul friends all, you have accompanied me this long day. With the help of my soul teacher, give me grace to review its events without blame or guilt. I thank you for your clarity and compassion. Keeper of the soul's door, you make me a steward of your treasury, a guardian of your gates, whenever you lead me into the silence of prayer. May I always be worthy to open my heart's door to you. Now, as winter draws deeper, I look up to the heavens to understand your mystery. I celebrate the splendor of serendipity, the coincidence of spirit that reveals the underside of life's tapestry. May I never fall into forgetfulness that what is woven on my side of the cosmic web is but a reality of a great reality. May the shadow dance of divine wisdom ever lighten my life. May all who have been defeated and conquered receive a blessing. May the Holy Ones help restore them to the garment of self-respect. Restore them to the garment. Wow, I read that twice. Restore them to the garment of self-respect, bestowing the blessing of daily routine and the return of good order. Security of finances, of livelihood, of dwelling perturb my mind and drive sleep away. Ever-present provider, bring my needs to you. I give thanks to the brilliant constellations of winter that have glittered on my breast this day. On the ship of silence, I am safely borne to the shore of wonder. This winter's night, I seek the harbor of sleep. Okay. So this is Daily Devotional. My name is Red Moonigle. I'm trying to get myself in the habit of saying these things. We are in the tide of preparation, the fall equinox, going to winter solstice. So there are 4 tides of the year. There's the tide of preparation, the tide of destruction, the tide of renewal, and the tide of completion. And we are in the tide of preparation. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon. I am getting better about making sure I'm posting a notification that I'm going to be going live and what time in the morning I'm going to be going live. Again, these are every day, Monday through Friday, between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. And I would say I'm more consistent to go between 6 and 7 than I am 5 to 6, but this morning I'm starting early because I have a workshop this weekend. So we're going to start with Mouse. Mouse is the card we drew first today. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, and nervous. Mouse. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, scrutinizing. Unfortunately, the mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life, to try to control every detail. This can be quite painful an experience for both the mouse and those around them. The mouse energy is at play. Step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. When in balance, organized, resourceful, prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose. To bring into balance, a meaningful project. I'm going to come back to Mouse in a minute because I thought it was funny, the question I asked this morning and why I got Mouse. Ma'at. In the Medicine Heart Oracle, Ma'at is the card. Divine reordering is unfolding in your life, edging your souls towards fruition for your higher purpose. The process may seem subtle at first, perhaps not even consciously sensed. as it seeds in the dark, unknowable, generative process of the soul. Yet, there will be a moment when you feel the inner stirring, the push to give expression to something that has been hitherto inviolate. It will take courage to commit to the manifestation, seeing through the unsteady beginnings of this newness as it grows to fullness. There's something beautiful and true meant for you. Do not be afraid to do the inner work necessary to embody and share it. The beloved Egyptian goddess embodying truth, divine order, and justice, Ma'at, wears a headdress of a single feather. She is adored by Sekhmet, the fierce lion-headed ancient Egyptian goddess of the sacred rage, who consumes evil and destroys negativities. Although Sekhmet is a goddess of war and endings, her epitaphs reveal her true nature. She is known as the she before whom evil trembles, and she who loves Ma'at. Sekhmet is the patron protector of healers and instrumental in clearing the way which stands in all opposition to the will of Ma'at, which is natural, spiritual order of divine justice. The will of Ma'at orchestrates the movements of the stars and planets, shifting the world's ages and the progression of seasons and all other cycles of activity within the phenomena, including the cycles that govern humanity and promote spiritual growth. Ma'at is divine timing. Trusting Ma'at is a faith in the natural, self-correcting, instinctively rebalancing intelligence of life itself. I love Ma'at. I went through a couple years ago a phase where I studied the Egyptian pantheon in great detail. I went to the bottom of that well. So the question I asked the cards this morning was, help me help those who are watching daily devotions today. Those that need it, those that need that extra little lift. And Mouse is what came up first. And Mouse is, as soon as I read it, I went, oh my goodness, power of mind again. And Ma'at, that energy of natural spiritual order of divine justice, orchestrates the movements of the stars and the planets, shifting the world ages and the progression of the seasons and all cycles. I love the very beginning when it says the divine reordering is unfolding in your life, edging your souls towards the fruition of your higher purpose. This process may seem subtle, perhaps not even consciously sensed. So when I'm looking at these cards, and I had asked the cards to give me something to share, and Mouse, it was power of mind, right? Like, it was the energy of, I think of a mouse, and I think of this tiny little creature. And too many times, I think in modern media or in children's cartoons and stuff, Mouse, at least in my generation, was this terrified little creature. But they were industrious. And I have always recognized that mice are these beautiful little creatures that move seeds around, help plant things. They dig holes in the ground and they give oxygen to the earth. I love how in this deck they are very detail oriented. And the problem with detail oriented is you can get lost in those tiny little details. You can get lost in that. And with power of mind, having access to all those beautiful details is a powerful tool, but it can also very much trigger a fear cycle. And so if you are caught in a fear cycle, you get caught in the woods, you get caught in the details, you get caught in the fear of all of the details. Well, I can't do this, and I can't do this, and I can't do this, because then I have to do this, this, then this, and what happens if this, this, and this. And Mouse energy is the need to find something else to transmute the energy. And yesterday evening, I had made a comment to somebody about transmutation. And there was this wonderful discussion about art and creativity. And art and creativity and finding a way to transmute energy is extraordinarily important if that is a gift, like if whatever your gifts are, if transmutation is part of that process. Energy sensitivity and earth sense both have a part to play in that transmutation process and what that looks like. And Ma'at is transformation. It is a cycle. It is something that's moving you forward. And Ma'at is very gentle. Ma'at energy is very rarely cataclysmic. Sekhmet is much more cataclysmic. Some of the other gods and goddesses in different pantheons in the world are much more catastrophic in their change affect. But Ma'at is gentle. She is the goddess of understanding that cycles move. They just slowly move the way they're supposed to. I actually had Ma'at come up a while ago when I asked a climate change question. Actually, this is a couple years ago. And Ma'at came up as the change of Ma'at being interwoven into that discussion. And because climate change is gradual, we are noticing it, but it's taking years and years. You have a cold year, you have a hot year, you have a colder year, you have a hot year, several hot years, like there's a movement of forwardness always. But the things that is moving forward, it can seem as though sometimes there's a backwards movement at the same time. If you think of astrology, the planets in the skies, how astrology is calculated and all that, it's what they look like from Earth. So retrograde is the appearance that something is moving backwards in the sky, but in reality it's an illusion. Everything is moving forward. And that's very much the Ma'at energy. The Ma'at energy is very slow, very methodical, but don't let mouse get you sidetracked. Don't get caught in the details and the fear mind, the work outside of that fear paradigm. I thought it was a really good set of cards because I think that there are, and it is easy when you're growing and when you're developing and when you're stretching and your spirituality and your growth and wherever your path is, wherever you are on that path, it can be very easy to compare yourself to someone else, which I never encourage anybody to do. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. Your journey is yours. If you're making 10 steps forward and 16 steps backwards, that's your journey. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. And are those steps backward really steps backward, or are they the illusion because you've gotten caught in the details and you've gotten caught in this place of fear? You've lost the big picture of where you're going. And I think it's natural for us in this world of media, and I'm using media. I am using technology to reach out to people. And I'm trying to do it in a way where I am conscientious and aware that I don't want to do it like everybody else does. Yeah, I'd love to have 100K subscribers to be able to pay for the subscription to the thing that lets me go live every morning through many medias. But I would rather get 100K subscribers through gradually, organically, one person at a time, discovering that we can do this together. That's what I'd like. And I don't want to do it through fear-mongering, and I don't want to do it through selling you a product. I don't want to do it through the psychology of fear. And mouse is, and can be, where you get caught in fear cycles. And those fear cycles are extraordinarily unhealthy. So when you're working on your spiritual journey and when you're figuring out what works for you, allow yourself to do it your way. Allow yourself to find your power of mind, what makes you feel good, what connects you to the world, to the universe, what lets you find the power of Ma'at in your life, in your way. And it's very easy to get caught in the comparison, well, such and such is doing this, so I need to do that, or such and such is made this amount of money this way. Well, you need income to be able to survive in today's world. I agree, 100%. And you don't have to crawl over people and hurt people to get there. And it's been something that I have come into, I've hit that wall quite a few times of outside people's expectations of, to do it the right way, you have to do it this way or that way. And that's quite toxic. We need to start breaking out of the paradigms of what people think of as the only way to do something, and to reconnect with community and think about things. Think about things in a grounded way. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about empathy versus energy sensitivity versus earth sense. And she's been working in the metaphysical, spiritual healing practices now for more than a decade. And one of the things that she runs up across all the time is healers telling her that she has to be an empath. Well, you're obviously a caring individual, so you must be an empath. She's not an empath. She's an energy sensitive. She's like me. She has absolutely no empathy gifts whatsoever. But she's a powerful energy sensitive, and she does have earth sense. So you take those two things together, and I can understand, and I can speak to empaths, and I can live with them, and I'm surrounded by them, and I've learned to use their language, but I do not have those foundational gifts that they have. And it is a fundamentally different way of looking at the world. Do not assume that because you have the ability to feel other people's emotions, that everybody does. You get caught. People get caught in their worldview. Mouse gets caught. Mouse gets caught in its worldview of details in its worldview. And that's okay to have your worldview, know your gifts, know your connection, know your power. Wonderful, awesome. I encourage everybody to do that. But don't make assumptions that everybody comes from that same place. And it's really easy to do. It's really easy to make those assumptions. Hell, I made them for years. In different things, I've made mistakes. I'm certainly not perfect. And I definitely don't expect anybody else to be perfect. I expect we all are gonna make mistakes and fall down and struggle. We're all gonna do that. And I have more than 400 daily devotions on this channel. I haven't gone back and listened to all of them. I have no idea what mistakes are in there. None. And that's okay, because this is a journey and we're all taking it together. So for the final thing for today is the drawing. And I'm going to draw out of this, there's now more than 30 oracle card options in here. So I'm going to draw 2, and these are going to be the 2 I ordered today to have ready for when we get to the bottom of the bucket with the other 2 oracle card decks. 2. Sacred Self Oracle. Egyptian Gods. So those are the 2 oracle decks I'm going to order. I have no idea what they are because I don't remember. I just took a whole bunch of oracle card suggestions from a lot of you. I also had an Amazon list that I've been collecting for like 2 years, and I just wrote them all out on pieces of paper and put them in this bucket. So these are the next 2 we're going to order, and then I think what I'll do is if y'all have suggestions, I'll just keep adding names to the bucket, and as we work through decks, we'll just keep drawing from the bucket. We'll see what we get. See what magic the universe brings us. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. There's nobody with me on chat today, it looks like. So I do want to let you know that next week I'll be back to probably around 6:30-ish is probably where I'm going to be doing daily devotions next week, I think. We'll see. I'll probably be, at least once next week will be a 5:30, 5:45 one. I just don't know what day. And what I've been wanting to do is make sure that I leave time at the end so that you can ask questions and I can answer some of your questions. So when I post these lives, there is apparently a way that you can go in and write some things. You're going to see Eagle and Rue at the bottom of the beginning of chats on most of these, or at the top, I guess. And that is my other YouTube channel that I do a lot of creative, like embroidery and other things. So it makes it easier for me to type on my computer and keep an eye on making sure I have sound and all that other stuff. So I use that other account to kind of monitor when I go on live. So if you have questions, you can post them. You can send me DMs or comments. If you like the videos, comment at the end, hit subscribe, hit like. It really helps the algorithm. Share these with your friends. Share them on Facebook, Instagram. I really am trying to build my subscribers a little bit more because there is a little thing on the backside that I can start doing more of like the media stuff, but I need a certain amount of subscribers. So I'd really like to hit 500 this year, this next 2024. So help me get there, guys. Have a beautiful day. I love you all, and I will see you in prayer on Monday. Blessed be.